Hi, everyone. I'm Avi certified raw food educator and holistic health coach. And I just want to give you a little bit of background about me before I continue. For the first 4.5 years of me holistic health coaching, I actually worked in the field. And when I mean the field, I was actually traveling, I was in hospitals doing a lot of field work, helping people with everything from weight loss to pancreatic cancer and stomach cancer and things like that. Reverse it holistically with holistic methods. So that's what I did. And I ended up changing that because it was, draining for me physically, emotionally, because, those are serious illnesses and it took a lot of work to do to deal with that. Also dealing with the families and things like that. So I changed that. Now I help women all over get rid of their stress, drop the pounds, gain their energy back through nutrition and lifestyle changes without sacrificing their food favorites and authenticity. Stay with me because over the next 15 minutes or so, I'm going to show you how to implement lifestyle and nutrition changes that you can implement on a daily basis in your daily life that will keep you consistent in reaching your goals. Okay, so there's a lot of info out there, and there's a lot of people that are, watching these videos. Maybe you're watching these videos, which is amazing, right? You're watching the videos. You're probably, some of you are taking down notes, which is also good. But imagine watching videos. Imagine, hey, Steve, imagine consuming all this information, right? So it can be extremely overwhelming if you don't have a specific method as to how you can actually implement this. So I remember when I first started getting into nutrition and I would see all of these pages. You had some people who were raw vegan, and then you had some people who were keto, and then you had people who were paleo, and then you had people who were like, fuck all diets. I'm just going to drink tea. So I'm like, oh, okay. So that helps you lose weight. So there were so many different things. I'm like, well, what diet works? So what ended up happening is I was looking at this, I was viewing this, and I was like, I don't know where to begin. I don't know how to implement. So what ended up happening is I tried all of the diets at once, which is basically just binge eating. There was no structure. I had no basic nutritional knowledge or foundation, none of that, nada. So I ended up implementing all of these things, or not implementing all of these things, but being so overwhelmed with all this different information, I didn't know how to pack it to where I can actually see results. And I didn't see any results. I didn't, because I had no nutritional knowledge. I didn't know why I was eating a certain way. I had no clue. So what ended up happening is like I said, I didn't see results. As a matter of fact, I gained weight, got sick. There's a lot of information out there, and I find that when you're just consuming the information and not putting it into practice, it's not really helping you excel to the next level and see those results. So let's say your goal is to actually, get rid of stress, but you're just, maybe reading information. That's not really going to progress you to the next level. It's going to take some action steps from you. And at any point in this video, drop me a line below if you want to start taking action steps to overcoming those 6 lifestyle and nutrition barriers. Okay. And taking those action steps, you can implement this on a daily basis. So, like I said, you could watch I watched people for a very long time until I took it upon myself to start actually implementing. And a lot of people who are maybe not as organized, that's fine. It doesn't take you being extremely organized. It just takes you taking small steps to reaching those goals. And how I actually did it was one at a time. Okay. So I started to implement one thing at a time. So for instance, if I wanted to lose weight, I said, okay, let me look at my diet. So I began to write things down. I started to write down what I was eating exactly. And I actually have foodie moody journals up on Amazon that tracks your food and your mood, because that is a divine connection. And this is why when I do my 6-step method, which takes you from basic nutritional knowledge to actually utilizing nutrition, exercise, self love techniques, and things like that, to creating your dream life through nutrition and those lifestyle changes. But first, you have to get that basic foundation. And I do talk about, food and mood together, because it affects what you're putting in your body, affects your mental health, it affects your emotional health, it affects your physical health and your spiritual health. A great book that I highly recommend is Dr. Furman's Fast Food Genocide, which talks about how food can greatly impact your mood. Let's say a lot of times, like I said before in past videos, I would wake up with spasmodic stomach. And there was nothing that was causing me, like there were no outside or external circumstances. I wasn't like stressed because of a traumatic event at that time. It was because of what I was actually putting in my body. I noticed when I ate certain foods, I actually got spasmodic stomach, which ended up making me feel anxious. Isn't that weird? So that's how food can impact you. And this is why I say having that basic foundation, of nutrition can affect your life in a positive way, give it a positive twist. So, in terms of nutrition, what I started to do was at least replacing one of my meals with a big salad. And then, if I wanted to have, let's say, like a vegan burrito or vegan, I don't know, quesadilla, or something else plant-based like a chili cheese soup or something like that, I would incorporate that with it. But I started to say, okay, let me make this small change and do this every single day. Let me write down what I'm eating so I can keep track of how I'm feeling. And that's key, is actually visually seeing what you're doing so you can continuously track your progress and excel and reach your goals. Okay, so that would be one of my tips. Another tip would be to actually incorporating a smoothie. You don't have to like take anything out, but incorporate a smoothie. Or if you want, you can replace a meal with a smoothie. So it's like incorporating, taking things out, replacing, and various things that you can do. So writing things down is an action step that you can take. Journaling your food and your mood so you know what foods are causing you. Maybe you, for instance, maybe you had water and you had white rice and you had them together, and maybe you're bloated, but you're like, I don't know why I'm bloated exactly. If you were to write that down, you would make the connection between, oh, I had water and white rice. Maybe I don't want to do that again. Now your body can digest. So you see how that one small step can actually help you and continue to help you implement and stay consistent with hitting those goals. So drop me a line below if you want that blueprint. It has action steps for each module. So you have the basic nutrition, you have the grocery store and time management module, which shows you how to begin to become organized. Doesn't have to be my way of organization, but just something that's going to keep you on track so you can progress to the next level. Okay, so definitely writing things down, replacing one of your meals with something healthy. Even just saying, making that one goal and saying, you know what, I'm going to start incorporating more plant-based foods. More plant-based foods. When I say plant-based, for those of you who don't know, that's greens, that's beans, that's nuts, that's seeds, that's fruits, that's, like I said, veggies. All of those are plant-based. So just saying, maybe I'm not going to go to McDonald's today. Taking those small steps can really help you stay consistent, because it doesn't require a lot from you. It just requires that one consistent step that you're going to take. Okay. And that's what it took for me. It took for me to stay consistent. I knew that I was going to get my vitamins and minerals from fruits, veggies, beans, nuts, and seeds. So I put them in a huge salad. I said I'm going to have a salad or a blended salad. Lately I haven't been eating the actual salad. I've been drinking most days. I've been drinking like a salad smoothie. So you can even do that. If you don't want to chomp on lettuce, you can make like a blended salad smoothie so you can get all your vitamins and minerals. The goal here is to function at your optimum, to function at your optimum to help your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health. When you eat foods like this, you're regenerating your cells, you're replenishing your body, you're going to gain more energy. You're going to feel more balanced and more in tune with yourself because that's what your body likes. Your body and food, they're connected. Like I said, you're similar to a plant. If you were to look at the biochemistry of a plant and the biochemistry of you would see that they're very, very similar. Very, very similar. Although you function interdependently, you need each other. Okay. So like I said, the body likes homeostasis. And when you're giving it foods like that, it will stay in homeostasis. So in terms of lifestyle changes, I remember hearing everybody talk about meditation and they had this whole routine, this whole morning routine. And at the time, I was so like anxious and all over the place. I'm like, I'm not doing that. That's like an entire routine. My spirit wasn't ready for that. But I knew I needed something that was going to keep me balanced. I knew I didn't feel grounded. I knew I didn't feel happy. I knew I felt all over the place. And that's the worst feeling, is feeling out of yourself, out of body, anxious all the time. So I actually attended a business conference at Utah, and I heard people saying how they would spend hours doing what was it? It was what was it? Self-help healing and meditation and reading certain books and listening to certain audio, and at the time I just wasn't ready for it. And what I did was I consulted with myself. I sat with myself. I asked myself, what do you need? So I knew I needed to be grounded, but I also knew that I was not going to lay in my bed and sit there and meditate because I was restless at the time. And I was restless at the time because my leptin was off. And this is why I go back to the nutrition piece. Like I said, drop me a line below. If you want that blueprint that will help you take actionable steps, you can stay consistent with these nutrition and lifestyle changes. And it also gives you the entire blueprint as to how to completely transform your life. So I knew I wasn't going to do that. Like I knew I wasn't going to, sleep and meditate. And I felt restless. Like I said, I threw my leptin off. When I talk about leptin, that regulates your hunger levels. Okay, so that's what was thrown off. So I was hungry all of the time and I had excessive inflammation. So when you're heavily inflamed, you have a lot of inflammation that increases your stress level. So my stress levels were high. My gut, my brain, my heart, the signals were all off. I just was not how I was now at all whatsoever. It was a horrific sight. And this is why I say, make sure you're eating foods that are going to satiate you so you don't overeat, so you don't increase your risk of inflammation, so you don't increase, when you increase inflammation, your stress levels go all the way up. You increase your dopamine, your cortisol levels. It's very dangerous. That's really what invites diseases and autoimmune disorders. So going back to the lifestyle change, I discovered that I needed to make a change to feel balanced. So what I decided to do was to take their advice but not listen to how they did it exactly. It had to be fitting for me. So some people meditate, they meditate like this and they sit in a pretzel, and that's fine. Some people meditate sleeping. I found I had to meditate walking. I had to meditate running. I had to be doing something to exhaust myself. This is how I started. That was my one step that I took to actually balancing myself. So actually two steps. So the nutrition change I made was to at least have a smoothie a day, okay, and drink water, and not together, not with my meals. So that was one step that I took and said I was going to do every day, as well as incorporate a big salad. The next step, I said I was going to quiet myself when I first wake up and listen to meditation music, but I'm not going to lay there in the bed, because at the time, that's not how I didn't feel calm. I had to work towards that. So you see, it's a progression. So I said I'm going to do that one small step of running while I'm meditating. I'm going to exercise and listen to meditation music. And sometimes I didn't listen to meditation music. You know, I would listen to rap music while doing yoga. That's what calmed me down. Why? Cuz it matched my restlessness. You see? So it's a progression. Now can I sleep and listen to meditation music? Absolutely, because my body is balanced out. But it doesn't have to look the same for everybody. But I find that going within, doing self reflection, doing journaling really creates those lifestyle changes. Just penciling in one thing that you can do every day that you love, that will change your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual state, whether that be, maybe you didn't exercise before. Maybe you can say, you know what, I never exercised before, but I know that if I'm sedentary, and that's module number 4 in that blueprint. Drop me a line below if you want it, to take the action steps to get you from sedentary to active. So if you're like, I recognize that being sedentary can lead to death, can lead to cardiovascular disease and metabolic diseases, I can go walking for at least 30 minutes a day, and go walking where it's a beautiful scenery. Maybe you're like, okay, you know what? When I first started with fitness, um, started to stay consistent with fitness, there was this one workout that I did every single day. And it included jump squats, it included push ups, and I think it included burpees. And that's probably why I still love burpees. I could do burpees every single day. I've actually done them in the grocery store at Whole Foods. Ask anybody. But, anyways, those are my tips. I hope they were helpful. And if you want to see more videos like this, like I said, drop me a comment below if you want that blueprint for the lifestyle and nutrition barriers. It gives you action steps to overcome them. Taking your mindset from change is hard to I can do this and I feel empowered and this is easy. And you won't have to sacrifice your food favorites in the process, or your mental. Your mental will only get better when you incorporate healthier things into your nutrition. If you want to hear more discussions like this, more videos like this, like I said, drop a comment below. And I also have a podcast called Avi Unfiltered, which is premiering new episodes this Tuesday. Make sure you are subscribed to that. It's www. I actually write it in the comments. www.avispeaking.com/podcast. Okay, make sure you're subscribed. It's a holistic health and wellness podcast. And my first guest is going to be Dr. Tenpenny. She's going to be on my second episode talking about the pandemic and vaccines. What you don't know can hurt you, and what you do know can empower you. So I hope this video was extremely helpful. I hope you go and implement those nutrition and lifestyle changes, and let me know. Always feel free to message me and let me know how they went for you and how I can help you. So have a wonderful day.